know, what we're doing here is kind of a cool technique that I discovered a little bit by accident at the beginning of my career. Basically, I fished a tournament out of southern Green Bay and met a gentleman in the parking lot who told me about some rock piles that he was catching really nice fish off of. And you know, I thought they were some sort of a secret spot, but it turned out they were actually channel markers. So I was real anxious to get back up here and give it a try. So I fished around and really tried to find as many of these rocky areas as possible. And what I found is any place that there was a decent structure, there were walleyes on it. And by pitching these larger jigs with red tails, I could extract some of the biggest fish on the structure. Well, what I wasn't sure about, because the water is a little bit darker in the southern part of the bay, was whether or not this technique could apply to some of the structures that are further north in the cleaner water. What I actually ended up finding out is that those fish are there and they will eat the chubs. It's just a little bit trickier because of the clear water. You need to approach with a little more stealth. You know, there's a bunch of different techniques that we use throughout the year to catch walleyes in open water and around these structures on the Great Lakes. But oftentimes, jigging is definitely an overlooked technique that not only is effective for extracting big fish, but it's also a lot of fun.
Even though Gary, Chase, and Tom are technically vertical jigging these sunken islands and rock humps, targeting solely the biggest fish that they can find, it's interesting that unlike other instances of vertical jigging, they are feeding line out to the walleyes to let them take the live bait.
I'm pretty sure there's a fish here.
I think there is, Dad. I really do.
There's definitely a fish here.
Yep.
He's taking the jig right with him.
Yep.
Much like rigging before setting the hook.
Got him?
Yep, I got him.
Nice.
Man,
Nice.
Nice. Oh yeah. Oh, I missed
Tom,
him.
why don't you get the net?
I missed him.
I'll keep us pointed and right.
I just dropped the jig to him. He took off like if I was rigging him. That was really cool.
How's he feel?
He's a pretty good fish.
Oh, look at this. I'm up on the
Staying
front
down.
just watching everything.
Yeah.
He's feeling a little bit nicer now. He just had a lot of line out because he took it like a rig, you know.
He's getting bigger now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. I haven't seen him yet.
I just saw him.
I just
He's a good
barely
one.
saw him, yeah. Oh, yeah, he's a good one.
That's a good
he's
one.
He's a good one. Oh, here he is, Tommy.
Yes!
Wow.
Nice.
That was cool. Man, you know, I didn't know if I should feed him or not. When he hit, he went kunk, and then he started going. So I thought, oh, you either set the hook, but it's a chub, you know, you set the hook too fast and you miss him. So I just let it go. And he just took off like it was a rig. So that was pretty neat.
It's crazy with these big baits. That is your instinct, is to feed them a little bit of line. But
Yeah, I mean,
you know how these fall fish can be, though. It's a little different this time of year. They're here to eat.
Yeah, yeah, and even at that, look, he had grabbed that chub and took off, but he didn't have it way down. He just, maybe it was best I did give him a little bit of line.
Absolutely.
What a beautiful fish though, huh?
Oh yeah, it's a beauty. Look at the color on it.
This time of year, they're really pretty and they're pretty stocky. And you know, he fought hard.
Oh yeah, well, somebody stuck a hook in your face and pulled you out of 35 foot of water, you'd fight it also.
Exactly. So we're gonna let this beast go.
Oh, come on, baby.
Not very often do we fish with jigs on deep structure on the Great Lakes, and because of that, our setup, our basic components in our system are going to be a little bit different. So I'm actually using the same main line that I normally would, 6-pound fire line. Now the nice thing about the fire line is it's no stretch, so in this deep water, 35, 40 feet, you have a lot of feel. Now this is the setup that's way different than what I usually do in most scenarios, and that's using actually a fluorocarbon leader. About a 3 to 4 foot fluorocarbon, 8-pound 100% Berkeley fluorocarbon is what we're using here, with a real small swivel. That tiny swivel takes away line twist because this water is so deep. And then that fluorocarbon camouflages your setup right by the jig and the chub. So change up your scenarios if you're in a situation like this. Real deep, clear water, that's one place where I might use a swivel and a fluorocarbon leader to try to get a few more bites.
exciting information on tackle and techniques to make you a better fisherman. Presented by Mercury.
I'm here at Mercury Marine with Kevin Hellman, and we're talking about an exciting new phone app called the Ship's Log. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we came out with the Ship's Log back in October for iPhone. Really what it allows you to do is kind of create a profile for your boat and allows you to track what you're doing on your boat, whether you're out skiing, fishing, or just out for the day, cruising around. We really started this app kind of to evoke the classic Ship's Log, where you really have a running track of the time spent on a boat and really where you were, what it's been doing. So that's kind of where the idea came from. So you can kind of see here, when you first download the app, you'll want to set up a profile. It's not a profile for yourself, but more for your boat. So it's, your year, boat length, number of engines, that kind of stuff. You can also put in your engine serial number, so if you ever have to call Mercury service or things like that, you'll have that available. And then also prop information, so you have that nice place to store that too. So, and then really what the Ship's Log allows you to do is create logs when you're out on the water. When you create a log, you can kind of show here, you can go on, you can add a photo for the log, name the log entry. So if you're heading out to a certain lake, you could name it that. And then you can also go in and say, these are the people that were with me that day. This was who was captaining the boat. The app also pulls in the location. So if you're at found a new hotspot for fishing or something like that, it would automatically pull that information for you, and you can go back and easily find that. And then along with the location, the phone will pull in the weather, so you have a kind of a picture of what the day was like when you're out there as well. And then we also have a place for you to enter your engine information. We have fields for top speed, average speed, engine hours, fuel level, just to kind of give you a quick picture of kind of what elements were like that day, in addition to the weather outside and things like that. So once you have that done, it actually syncs up to a website as well. So you can go on, and if you decide to make your logs public, anyone who's using the Ship's Log, you can go on and see what they've been doing, where they're fishing. So we already have thousands of members, thousands of posts on the web already that you can go through and see. So it's pretty cool to see what people are doing on their boats all over the world.